And we're back.
Back in business.
Yeah. Thanks for being patient
Good to
with
see
us
ya.
while we were away, guys.
Yeah.
All of our followers, all of our listeners. I've been in Queensland.
Yeah.
Took a week off. We ended up taking 2 weeks off from the podcast.
Yep.
So little recap. What's been going on, mate?
I stayed in not so sunny Adelaide for the 2 weeks. I've just been grinding away, to be honest. Nothing's changed for me, just no podcast. So the brain's been operating a bit better without having to think of ideas for the potty. But yeah, still running, progressing with my running, progressing with my lifts, progressing with everything. So
Where are you at with your running? Give us a rundown.
running. Now we're running up to 35 kilometers per week.
Wow.
I am 6 weeks out from the race. Setting PBs every week. I've already run a sub 50 10K, which was the goal for the race, and we're 6 weeks out. So
Lovely. Set a new goal.
yeah, new goal has been set. So he's this week's training block is looking pretty nasty. So
Yeah. What's the new goal?
excited. Not sure just yet. It's kind of hard to tell with sub 50. I think like my coach knows a bit more about time goals and stuff, but I ran it in about 49 and a half minutes. So I'd say to chop off another minute maybe or so would be cool. Otherwise you just break it down into like minute per kilometer. So I'd love to run it, in less than a 450 minute per kilometer, that's pushing it for somebody my size. But thankfully for the gym, I've got that mentality about me, I think. So I'm really keen. We're doing a race sim next week.
Nice.
So that'll be exciting. It's going to be really tough, but
What's involved with a race sim?
just exactly how you'd race on the day.
Nice.
Yeah. So we chop off one run from that week because race sim's going to gas me pretty hard.
Yep.
Because I'm still playing soccer.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the actual race.
Yeah, so the race is 10 kilometres in Barossa, in the north of Adelaide. First one ever. All the people I've spoken to have said it's a great course, really good vibe. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm not running it with anyone. I don't really know anyone that's doing it. If I did, they're probably doing the half of the marathon. I'm not there just yet. But another exciting thing, in those 2 weeks, we signed up 6 of our trainers plus the 2 of us to the City to Bay for a 6 kilometre, which is awesome, really cool. So we're all going to do that together and have a nice day out at the end of September.
Shout out to Form First for sponsoring
Yeah.
the event.
Shout out to us. Yeah. Yes, that'd be a great day. And I'm also planning on the Victor Half in December with a bunch of people from my physio clinic. So
Love that, mate.
yeah, the running bug has bitten my ass and I'm well into it now. So it's good.
Yep. Well and truly.
How's Queensland?
Queensland was great, mate. The reason that I was up in Queensland was actually for a marathon as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I did not compete in the Gold Coast Marathon. I was a spectator on the sideline. However, my good friend Kurt Ferguson
Shout out.
Yeah.
What an effort.
Huge shout out.
Good on you, Kurt.
Full marathon, 42 Ks. I think he did it in 3 hours, 52 minutes.
Nice. Sub 4 is awesome.
Yeah, so that's like a 5-minute 20 pace or something
Yeah,
like that.
unreal.
For 42 kilometers. Relatively flat. I think
With a
it's
torn hamstring.
with a torn hamstring. Are you kidding me? He's an absolute beast. The resilience on that
crazy,
guy
yeah.
to tear your hamstring 1 week out and go, you know what? I'm going to still do it. That is some serious resilience.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good effort.
So yeah, it was really good. There was 45,000 people that entered the
Yeah.
Gold Coast Marathon.
Yeah.
And the cool thing was it was almost like a fitness expo there. So Rockaby Farms were there.
Oh, it's so cool.
And
Yeah,
they just
nice.
literally pulled up their truck with Rockabies filled up to the roof and they were just handing them out to everyone. Chobani
Nice.
were there
Nice.
with
Yeah, killer.
Eskies throwing out Chobanis to everyone. AG1 were there, like all
That's
the
awesome.
big dogs, and they were just literally handing out stuff. It actually reminded me of what the fitness expos used to be back in the day. Back, talking like 2017, 2018, when the supplement industry was booming.
Yeah.
Rule 1 just entered the scene Optimum Nutrition were like the top dogs, and they just used to hand out all these free samples to everyone.
Yeah.
It was really
What
cool.
was it? Gold Standard. What is
Gold
it?
Standard Whey.
Gold Standard Whey.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
the goated.
I don't know if you've seen the price of protein these days, but it is like ridiculous. Like
Dairy's
I would say
flying.
double the price. I mean, we stock VPA here,
Mm.
and there have been some price increases up, but I think only probably 20-30% markup on our VPA protein versus some of the proteins in the big dogs like Optimum and Rule One. They've gone up like almost double.
Yeah, shit.
Which is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was actually talking to one of my massage clients this morning about supplements, and he was like talking about one of his mates who took a pre-workout back in 2015 or something. I was like, bloody hell, pre-workouts back then would have been crazy. He was like, yeah, he used to take this one that made him feel like he had ants under his skin. And I was like, yeah. They still do that. Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, aside from that, mate, the Queensland trip was really good. It was the first time we had our little boy Paxton.
Yeah, whole family went up.
The airplane.
Yeah.
So he was really good on the way up. On the way back, he was the whole family was a bit restless, and it was a very long 2-hour flight. But the Fergusons have kids similar age, and we got a big Airbnb with a pool and a spa.
Oh, they live here.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
And it was,
nice.
It was great. We just kicked back and relaxed, and that was our little short getaway. Before we go to Bali a little bit later in September.
Nice. That's awesome. Looked like a good bit of weather up there on the day of the race. I had a couple of friends do that. One person from the soccer club did the full, and one of the girls from the physio clinic did the full marathon as well. I don't know their times. One of them's a freak runner. But yeah, it looked like it was all right. It was like 24-ish.
Yeah, I think 20, low 20s.
Humid.
Yeah, very, like humidity was up there. Like in the shade it's cold, but when you're running at a 5-minute pace for 42 kilometers,
he would have been cooked.
Like just drenched.
It
was crazy to see like how many medics were on the side of the road as well, and people were just like collapsing, people just like folding. And these could be people that have been training for the event, or maybe probably more so people that have not trained for the event. I don't think people realize how far 42 kilometers really is.
It's ridiculous. I've only just started to really fathom 42 kilometers. Like on the weekend, I did my longest run. It was at like a 6-minute pace, which is just steady state zone 2 for me. Ran 14 kilometers, and I was like, 2 more of those, and that's a marathon at a faster pace. 42 kilometers is crazy long.
Yep.
I think I'll do one marathon and reassess. People that do more than one, they're just like so good.
Yeah. Well, another shout out going out to Sasha Robinson.
Big
client of Sammy Shreds for a number of years. She just popped in the other day post ultra marathon to get a massage with you.
Yeah.
Was it 50 kilometer?
50 kilometer ultra
with a 1.6 kilometer incline. Yeah, elevation.
Yeah.
And she came first in the women's division.
8th overall.
8th overall, which is an amazing achievement. And that was her first one, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
Huge.
Yeah, nuts. Like 50 kilometers on its own obviously is crazy, and they don't run the whole way because there is some pretty steep elevations there, but still 50 Ks. There are some people that day doing a 100-mile race, which is 170 kilometers.
Huge.
Which is just like 72 David Goggins running that one. Like so crazy. But yeah, Sasha's been seeing me for a little bit now, which has been great. A bit full circle moment. I don't think she knew that you were part of this gym when she came to see me. And then she saw you the first time back or something like that. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here?
I've had a couple of people like that come in for a massage.
Like, oh, you know Sammy? Like, yeah, I know him pretty well. But yeah, no, she went really well. She had a little calf niggle about a week out, so gave that a proper go before it, and that pulled up really well. So she was being proactive with her recovery and prehab, so that worked out really well for her. And she's lining up to do the Barossa Marathon, which is great. So I'll be there somewhere doing a very short version. And then the end of next year, she's sailing down to Tassie and all the way up to the north of Australia.
Incredible.
Freak.
What a life.
What a weapon.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Something super interesting about Kurt. He actually used to be a bodybuilder like me back in the day.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So when I competed in 2017, he was actually a big reason why I did compete, because he was like, I want to compete. And I said, I want to compete. And we said, why don't we do it at the same time? So he got a coach, I got a coach, and we competed in the same show for the very first time.
Different coaches.
Different coaches.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, different. But, Kurt's quite a lot bigger than me. He's got a lot more muscle than me. So he actually went in the physique category, and I went in the men's fitness. So we weren't on stage together, but we were in the same competition. And the cool thing about this journey, and Kurt did a number of competitions. He probably did, over the span 3 to 5 competitions from memory.
Wow.
That he's pivoted into being more of this, hybrid-based athlete, more of a runner. And we see that more and more often these days, where someone will start in the industry, maybe it's in bodybuilding, or maybe they start in running and then they go into bodybuilding, or they go into CrossFit, or whatever it might be. And that's okay.
That is okay.
It's totally fine to pivot and change your identity. I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bodybuilder through and through for 5 years, and you couldn't convince me not to be a bodybuilder during that time.
Yeah.
But since, I would say, quote unquote, retired bodybuilder now.
Now you're a drummer.
Now I'm a full-time drummer.
Yeah.
But now I have a different look on my health and fitness, and as do many other people as well. And I would say that you're someone probably similar going through that transition at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say that running and how I've felt after running has probably become my priority. I'd say my number one priority at the moment is probably running, and then it's probably being in the gym. I'm still hitting 4 sessions a week. And I think the reason being is that I see, because I've just started running, I'm seeing so much progression. So it's just addicting. It's just that you like to see a lot of progression straight away. And obviously my progression in the gym has slowed down, but that's because I'm reaching my limits with weights and stuff, and I still really enjoy it. But yeah, I've pivoted, and, in terms of physique and health and how I feel day to day, it's the happiest I've been in a while with myself. So yeah, totally okay. Like I wasn't even worried about it, because it's just got to be something you want to do.
Yeah.
To keep you in it, something you want to enjoy. If you enjoy going to the gym less, try something different. I know people that have started with Pilates, gone to the gym, got sick of the gym, back to Pilates, into whatever, yoga, CrossFit.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Or you merge them all together.
Yeah.
And you go, right, I'm going to do a little bit of Pilates and a little bit of gym, because I like doing both, which is probably something pretty similar to what you're doing right now. You're taking that hybrid approach. You like running, but you like lifting weights. So why not spread them together rather than go, all right, I'm just going to go all in on running and then get injured because you're not doing strength training anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I think, and then eventually with runners, they might go into bike riding.
Yeah.
And do 400 kilometers a week, or they'll get into swimming, and then they're a triathlete, and then they have no time ever.
Yeah, it's a full-time job.
Your full-time doesn't pay you job being a triathlete. But yeah, and I think it's great. Like it's the only way to find out what you're truly passionate about, is to try different things. Like I used to play guitar for like 10 years. I haven't played guitar in years. I want to pick it back up.
Yep.
And I'm sure I'd love it. Like, you get sick of something, and it's always there as a backup.
Yeah.
Same as the thing with Kurt. Like if he switched more to the running thing, he gets sick of that or he gets injured, he knows he can pivot it back into something that he's comfortable with. Then you're the jack of all trades.
That's it.
Yeah.
Strength training is always there, and it's always going to benefit you in other sports.
Yeah.
No matter what sport you play. It's going to be injury prevention as well. It can be as harsh or low impact on your body as you make it.
Yeah. And you can strength train for so many different things. Strength training doesn't mean that, or even hypertrophy training doesn't mean that it needs to be these, if you're a little bit more experienced, this is easier to say to those people, but it doesn't need to be the super conventional movements. You can train your body to be strong in all different kinds of positions. And it's super important if you have a hobby that's quite athletic or physical. Like we have a trainer here who does competitive ultimate frisbee. You never know. Could have a badminton player that you don't know about. And you can train to be specific in those types of things. And it doesn't mean that your muscles are going to grow as much as they would if you were doing hypertrophy.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you're not strong.
Yep.
And healthy. So you can train however you want to train. Doesn't matter. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually on a check-in call with a client the other day, and he was a bit confused about. He was looking over at another guy next to him who was doing the same lift as him, and he looked at him. He's got a lot more muscle than him, and he looked at the weights that he was doing, and he was actually lifting, like my client was lifting more weight than the jacked guy.
Yeah.
And he was just like, what is going on? This guy over here is lifting less weight, but he's got more muscle, and I'm lifting more weight and I've got less muscle than him. What's going on? And I went ahead and explained to him that training for strength and training for hypertrophy, yes, there are some crossovers.
Yeah.
Of course, but they're not the same thing.
No, not at all.
So if you're like a power lifter and your main goal is, I'm just going to get as strong as possible, well, you're going to build a substantial amount of strength and muscle at that. But if your main goal was, I just want to build as much muscle as possible, well, you would build even more muscle and you would build strength at the same time, but not as much strength as the power lifter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think this is sort of something you figure out, and I think that I've got a client currently that he's been with me for a couple of months now, and to no fault of his, we hadn't actually crossed the bridge of what exactly he was looking for, and I don't think he was sure at the start. So at the start, we just got into the gym, we got into the scene, just get him confident, get him moving, and then, we'd speak about food every now and then, but going on a plan and working that around wasn't really his vibe. He didn't care about that as much, and honestly, it was super refreshing. Like, as long as you don't smash yourself with food every day and you have your weekends and that's fine and you're okay with not having the craziest physique ever. He was like, you know what? I think I just want to work on my strength. And I was like, awesome. Let's pump down those reps a little bit and get you lifting some serious weight. And it's really cool. He's got a deficiency in his left arm or left shoulder, which we're going to work on. So it's cool. Like, PTs don't mind that either. They're like, well, for me anyway, I'll speak for myself, is they like having different things to figure out and puzzles and seeing people progress. And he started progressing heaps with his strength, which is like, it's awesome.
Yep.
So cool. He's never been in the gym and he's loving it. He's like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, and you can rinse and repeat that for a long, long time. And this is why a lot of bodybuilders in their off-season do powerlifting, because it's a different goal that they can focus on. It's not so much physique-based. It is strength-based. And then a byproduct of that strength is building muscle.
Physique, building muscle. Yeah.
Yep. And then when the prep comes around, then they switch over to the hypertrophy-based training and go from there.
Yeah, powerlifting makes you really good at moving house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Books are heavy.
Definitely. But yeah, this client, I just spoke to him and said, like, look, there's many other things that can play a role. Like, maybe that particular lift isn't a strong lift for him. Mm-hmm. Genetically, maybe an underdeveloped chest on chest press, or triceps, shoulders. Therefore, maybe can't lift as much. Maybe he's already built his muscle in the past, and now he's just dropping the weight back and maintaining the muscle that he's got. There's a number of things. Maybe he was lifting less weight than you, but he was also doing 20 reps of that weight.
Yeah.
So
He was just having a deload.
he might have been having a deload week. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's many other factors that play a part in it. And that's where I said, just stay in your lane. Don't focus on what other people are doing because, at the end of the day, they might be following a different protocol. And yeah, you might get to the same end result with that different protocol, but this is the protocol that has been working for you. So let's stick with that until it doesn't work and then we can pivot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a skill being able to compare yourself to yourself and leave everyone else out of your bubble. And that's all I do. I honestly don't know when it switched. I definitely used to compare myself to other people. Don't know when it switched. Just did. I think it's just from naturally just training and just learning that it does not matter what the other person's doing because of all of the things and more that you just mentioned. Only you have the same environment as you from the week before or 2 weeks before. So obviously tracking your workouts for you beginners out there is it's paramount. It's an absolute necessity. With training, you need to track your progress badly. Yep.
100%. Otherwise, you're just on the hamster wheel, going around and around, going
what did I do last week?
Did I progress? Am I making any progress? Because if you just leave it up to your progress photos and you don't have a coach looking over your progress photos, you're not going to see much change at all. And that's where you can just get obsessive over the smaller metrics like your scale weight or your numbers in the gym and your progress photos as well. But just keep in mind, you are your harshest critic. You see yourself every day. You're not going to notice those changes as much as maybe having someone on the outside looking at your progress photos and who doesn't see you every day. That's going to be the best metric of measure.
Yeah. Sammy, what's a challenge that you found you've faced quite often when it comes to newer clients with meal plans, fat loss, stuff like that?
Yeah, where do you start? There's a laundry list, so maybe we can go back and forth with this.
Yeah.
But I think initially clients see usually pretty rapid results under the Sammy Shreds program. Sometimes it can be almost too much progress for some because, if a client needs to lose a substantial amount of weight, talking 10, 20 kilos, and in week 1 we get them on a meal plan, we cut out all the alcohol, the soft drinks, full sugar soft drinks,
snacks,
all these foods that are inflaming them and whatnot, and we get them on a lower calorie amount, say a calorie deficit, less carbohydrates, less sodium. They're going to see a huge shift in their body weight.
Yeah.
Some clients you can see upwards of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kilos lost in a week. And initially they're like, what? This is crazy. Why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah.
And, then their body adapts and a lot of that is water weight. There is some fat loss in there, but it's really unrealistic to say you've just lost a couple of kilos of fat in a week. And then week 2 rolls around and instead of losing 3 kilos, they lose a kilo. And then week 3 rolls around and they lose 500 grams. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, why is it so slow? Things are really slowed down now. And 500 grams lost per week is not a slow
great
rate of loss, especially if that is 500 grams of fat. While they're maintaining their muscle. Maybe they're also putting on muscle. So that's what I feel is a bit of a struggle for some people, is seeing the rate of loss slow down and educating clients that you are going to more than likely put on muscle depending on the client during this time, and things will slow down from a fat loss, weight loss perspective. But as long as you're still losing weight, then we're on the right track.
Yeah, absolutely. And what Sam's saying is, as the weeks progress, we see muscle gain. Muscle weighs more than fat. So that's why that rate can slow down as well as obviously less sodium, less carbohydrates, which hold the water and sort of make us heavy on that end as well. And is that something that you ever, like if you've got somebody that wants to lose or needs to lose a fair amount of weight, let's say 10 to 20 kilos, do you ever sort of preempt that at the start? Do you feel like you need to preempt at the start and say, at the start we might see a really big drop. We need to be prepared for that. And we also need to be prepared for that to plateau and fight through that plateau.
100%. Well, it works out on an average basis. So say if someone needs to lose, say for an example, 20 plus kilos and, you've got a year time frame and you work on a 500 gram loss per week, well, that's 26 kilos in a year loss. Right? So you sort of, you calculate it over that time and, if you have that big drop down, then that obviously leaves you a little bit more room to move as the time goes on, because things happen. Like clients get sick, they go on holidays. So it's better to be ahead of the rate of loss rather than behind. So that way you've got a few weeks up your sleeve. Yeah,
and I think we've spoken about that before, is accounting for hurdles in your year. Like I had all these goals at the start of the year myself, and I would say I didn't account for, you can't really account for whooping cough. Because you can't really predict something like that's going to happen. But I think, yes, that's a big lesson I've learned this year especially, is that you need to account for the fact that something's going to happen. And if it doesn't, Christmas.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
But if it does, you're prepared for it and you know how to get through it. I am one who struggles personally to get through moments like that, because it gets to my head so much that I'm like, I've doing so well and you get sick and it's a killer.
Yeah.
Like if you're not the only one out there, whoever is listening, if you struggle to get back on track, trust me.
100%.
Everyone does.
Yeah. I hurt my back training on the weekend and I haven't trained since. So it is what it is.
It's a Debbie Downer, isn't it?
I've accepted the fact, and it's happened like many times with like sicknesses and injuries and stuff for me and clients. So I'm a bit more like accepting and being like, yeah, whatever, it's fine. I can work on other things.
Get through it.
Can just get through it. I know my back's gonna come good. It's done it before. Good old scoliosis back. So it happens, but you just got to get through those times. Is there anything else that you've noticed with your clients that they struggle with their fat loss initially?
Yeah, I think just in general, a big one is control, self-control. Something I've struggled with personally, obviously, but I think, for the clients that I am helping out in terms of their eating, it's definitely just that control and probably timing as well. I find that a lot of people, more often than not, don't eat breakfast, which is fine. But a lot of the time what that can do, whether or not they're purposefully not having breakfast or they just don't feel like it, I feel like those people tend to get a bit snacky later in the day. And that's something that I used to do as well, to be fair. And you just, especially if you want to work out, you want to train 4 times a week, you're going to get hungry. And like if you're in a fat loss phase, sometimes cardio comes into it. Steps a bit more hunger neutral, depending on how fast you're walking and if you're walking up a hill the whole time. But I think snack control, having things in the house and implementing things into their daily life to make sure that they're not snacking. For me, it's having things in the house. If there's something in the house, it's getting deleted. Pretty much. Like yesterday, here's a good example. This is myself. Yesterday, I was extra hungry. I did have a run in the morning. It was a tough run, so I felt a bit hungrier in the day. I'm currently in a deficit. For my birthday, which was recent, just over the weekend, my partner's little brother went to Costco and bought me a 6-pack of chicken crimpies. 4 boxes of them from Costco. I opened the top of the pack and I put it back in the box because the whole packet would have gone straight down the hatch before dinner.
Yep.
And I'd be hating myself today. So that is a huge bit of progression because back in the day that would have been deleted. But just from, and I think at the start, I think my clients struggle to, especially if you're new, you struggle to know what it feels like to feel good when you wake up.
Yep.
I am in the position where I know what it feels like and I know what that does for the rest of my day, the rest of my week. So that to me is, I'm able to now think about that at the time.
Yeah.
What am I going to feel like tomorrow once I eat this? I know I'm going to love it right now. I'm going to hammer this box of chicken crimpies, but how am I going to feel tomorrow? Yep. So I think that's probably the biggest thing with them is not being able to be in the moment when they're ravenous.
Yep.
I actually had some water or like went and got a yogurt and it sucks. It does. It sucks at the time because you want the crimpies. You know, you want the cheesecake. You know, you want your birthday cake or whatever it is. But yeah, I think that's the biggest one.
Yep.
For them is the snacking.
Yeah.
And diversions and stuff.
Yeah. Just on the whole timing thing as well, you mentioned about like meal timing and breakfast and stuff. I think timing a shred phase or a cutting phase is really important too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like people will come in and they'll go, you know, all right, I want to do a fat loss phase, but I'm also going to Europe in 4 weeks. And then when I come back, I've got this string of birthdays, and then I'm going away again. It's like, but I also want to lose 10 kilos in the next 12 weeks. And you go like,
that's a steep hill.
Be realistic.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe not this time. Like, yeah, sure, you could probably drop a couple of kilos before your Europe trip, but let's do it at a time that you can actually give it your all.
Lock in. Yeah.
Because it's hard. It's really fucking hard to commit to a cutting phase and lose a substantial amount of weight because the whole purpose of a cutting phase.
Even without all those things.
100%. They're hurdles. They're really, really hard. But if you've got a clear run, it'll make it easier. But it's still really, really hard.
Really hard.
Yeah. So you need to make sure that the next period, 12, 16 weeks that you're going to be cutting for, you've got somewhat of a clear run. There might be a few little hurdles there, and there might be some birthdays and some events coming up. But, you know, if you're going in and you're trying to diet through Christmas and New Year's and Easter and all this stuff, like, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Like, you can do
Not
it,
me.
but it's going to be really, really hard.
Not me. I'm a piss sinking legend during December and January. Have you ever heard of that?
I've not heard of that,
That's
mate.
me. I'm a beer guy.
Maybe not this year. Maybe you're a changed man.
I think so.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I think even for me, like to use myself as an example again, like I started up with a coach. I think it's now been 11 weeks, 10 weeks or something like that. And I'm probably on track for 500 grams loss per week.
Yep.
I've had things in the middle of that, but I've had a pretty good run. I haven't been on holiday, I haven't been sick, haven't been injured, and far out. I've been cranking. Like I've had to be so dialed. You know, high volume and all this type of stuff. It's still, without all the things that Sam mentioned, still really tough. You have to work so hard.
Yep.
But it feels so good. It's so worth it. Like all that hard work for how you feel and being proud of yourself for, you know, not eating the box of crimpies or whatever it might be. So worth it. And you'll learn that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I think an obvious one for why weight loss stalls, as well as just adherence.
Yeah.
Like if you've got a good coach, like any of the coaches here, for an example, at Form First, and you stick to the plan to a T, you're going to see results.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you've got a bit of a dodgy coach who doesn't know what they're doing, you know, that's kind of might throw a spanner in the works, but everything is set up, good to go, and all you need to do is follow the plan and ask questions along the way so you know what is going on. That's important because you can't have a coach forever.
No.
But yeah, as long as your adherence is good, you will see the results.
Yeah, and, you know, That's why we utilize PTs, and that's why, you know, sometimes you got to pay some good money for a good PT. But the whole reason is they do all the shitty grunt work. They come up with your meal plan, your training plan, your schedule, your all this stuff. They do the thinking for you, and it sounds easy. And it's like all you have to do is show up, and go to the gym, and you got to show up for yourself every single day. Like including Saturday, Sunday. Those are the toughest days for everyone. But yeah, you know, you can have 5 great days and you could have 2 real bad ones, and maybe the progress for that week is gone.
Yeah, well, it's quite
Maybe
easy
not.
to eat yourself out of that deficit over the weekend if you go, I've had a really good week, I'm going to have a cheat meal on Saturday, and the cheat meal turns into a cheat day, and then the cheat day turns into a cheat weekend, and then that flows into Monday, I forgot to meal prep, and then you get to Wednesday and you go, oh shit, I've actually put on 200 grams. You know,
water. Nah, yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
it's easy. So like,
Yeah.
you know, lock in like what's 7 days a week for 12 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like think how quickly the last 3 months have gone. We're midway through 2026. So if you can lock in for that period of time and just be with that discomfort of being in a deficit, you'll get through it. And then you'll be able to eat more food.
Yeah. I think someone, I can't remember who posed this to me recently. It was like, it might have been you, where it was like, will you regret, I'm just going to stay on the chicken crimpy talk. Will you regret not having that packet of chips, or will you regret having that packet of chips? And for me, and it is so hard in the moment to think like that. It is so fucking difficult to do. That's something I've been trying to do for a decade.
Yeah.
Is be in the moment and actually ask myself that question. Like, I will regret opening this packet of crimpies because I will slam it, but I won't regret not having it.
Yeah. I think it was me. And I think the quote went, will this box of chicken crimpies get me closer to my goal or further away
it was
to my goal?
Yes.
Yeah. And you do. You got to ask yourself that question because like most likely not, right? And I'm all for flexibility, but like realistically, you look at the serving sizes on the chicken crimpies, you get like 3 biscuits, 4 biscuits, you know, like who's really having one serving of that? It's like
not me.
A Tim Tam, you know.
Yeah, nah, fruit chocks, yeah.
All that stuff. So, you know, the serving sizes on there obviously are quite low. No one reads into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to ask yourself the question. And if you do have them and you're tracking your calories, you got to account for the calories. And then you got to weigh it up. You go like, oh, well, I can have this tiny little piece of cheesecake or chicken crimpies, or I can have a piece of fruit, a YoPro, and whatever it might be, like so much more volume in something else that's going to fill you up and keep you more satiated. So you just got to weigh up pros and cons.
Yeah, and it's not, and again, like we'll repeat ourselves, it's not to say you can't have the crimpies. Like those boxes of crimpies aren't going to sit there forever. I'm going to eat them.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. There's just other ways to go about it. Like if you live with someone or if you live with a partner, share the box or take a handful, give them the box and say, hide it or something like that. Or make sure your partner or your housemate gets stuff that you don't like. For me, that's anything cookies and cream. Thanks, Dad, for ruining that. You know, salt and vinegar chips, have them. I don't want them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, things like that.
Yeah, I think you got to think about like if you've got the resilience to run a 10-kilometer in how long did you say?
40-something minutes.
40-something minutes. You've got the resilience to not eat the chicken crimpies. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is something that I learned from my bodybuilding. If I can go through a bodybuilding prep and diet for 6 months and not go off track for 6 months, 26 weeks,
it's crazy.
Then like I can do it. I just have that conversation with myself in my head and I'm like, well, I don't actually need that. You know, you just got to build a bit of resilience, I think.
Yeah, you don't need it. And in that moment, I needed to avoid eating them, but I really badly wanted to eat them. Yeah. So it's just like, it's a hard conversation to have with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely.
But thankfully I'd gone for the runs. I was like, I didn't just pump out 9 kilometers
Yeah.
to just for half the reason of that is to burn some calories. Probably maybe like, yeah, let's say 50% of that was to do the exercise. You're not just going to go and ruin that by, yeah. Very glad I didn't.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. So when your clients get to that stage where they've had the newbie gains and lost that, initial bit of water weight and a little bit of fat at the start, and we've hit the plateau, motivation dips because we're all excited at the start. Motivation dips, we've hit the plateau, weight's not, maybe 1 week the scales go up, but we know we're in a deficit. Is there a foolproof strategy or something that you use commonly with people, or is it different for each client? Like what's the...
I think it's very different client to client, and assuming that the client's weight has stalled, scale weight has stalled, but they've still got more weight to lose. It's a matter of, number one, asking like how long have they been dieting for? So say, for an example, if they have been dieting for a substantial amount of time, say, 10 to 12 weeks, they might be entitled to something like a diet break. So, it'd be a matter of asking the client, like, how are you feeling? And if the client reports back and goes, I'm really dragging my feet, I'm really tired, well, that weight still could be a representation of a decrease in metabolism or a decrease in expenditure due to being more tired. So a diet break can give them more food, therefore more energy to expend more energy, and therefore after a diet break, clients typically would see more fat loss, more weight loss as well. If the client got to that point and they're like, no, I'm feeling good, I'm not hungry, my energy is good, then they might just need to drop down in calories again or an increase in expenditure. So it'd be a matter of, probably dropping down their calories depending where they're at, 100-200 calories, and or an increase in steps and or cardio as well, just in order to increase that calorie deficit. Because what a lot of people don't realize is as you lose weight, so your basal metabolic rate, your BMR, decreases. So you actually need less calories at rest. So if you've lost, a substantial amount of weight, 10, 20 kilos, that initial deficit might not be a deficit anymore on paper, right? No. So therefore you need to recalculate and make sure that the calories are dropping down as you lose weight as well. And then typically, clients will still see great weight loss there. Obviously, like I said, it's very specific to the individual and where they're at, but that's a typical protocol, what we would use.
Yeah. And would you prefer to increase output than drop calories, or is that again pretty dependent?
I hate to say it, but it depends again.
Yeah, that's fine.
I hate to be that person to be like, it depends on everything. But it really does. Like if you've got someone dieting on really low calories and their expenditure isn't that high, well, then you would probably go, you're pretty hungry, your calories are low. If we go any lower with your calories, it's going to be really hard to hit your protein and get enough nutrients in with fiber.
For you to just function.
Yeah. So then you would go, rightio, well, let's focus on increasing your steps or your cardio. And the output side of things also depends, because if you've got someone who lives a sedentary lifestyle office job and you give them an abundance of steps, that might not be realistic for them.
Yep.
So you might have to give them something that is a bit more high intense that they can get done in a shorter period of time, but burn the same amount of calories as what 10K steps would do. And they might be on 5,000 steps.
Yep. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I think like for anyone out there that you're going to put yourself into a calorie deficit, because I know a handful of people that do that for themselves, always give yourself as much as you can at the start, because it will only go down from there, like we've just been talking about indirectly. That's something I learnt really recently as well, is give yourself as much food as you can at the start, see how you feel for 2 weeks. If you're not, maybe if we haven't dropped as much weight, or let's say 4 weeks, then you give yourself room to move. If you're just like, if you're eating 3,000 calories a day untracked and you're like, righto, time to lose some weight, and you pump yourself down halfway and go to 1,500, probably feel good for 2 weeks because you've still got food in your system. But once that metabolism comes down or we start to adapt a bit, you can only go down from there.
Yep.
If you're stuck at that amount of calories for that amount of time. So you've got to be really careful with that type of stuff if you're leading yourself into a calorie deficit. Hopefully there's no nutritional planners out there that I have to tell that to. But if you are a PT, try and give your clients as much food as they can have while still achieving what they want to achieve.
Yeah, because you want to still be able to maintain your strength and
be
able to function
and operate
as well.
Day to day, yeah.
A typical calorie deficit, anywhere from probably 20 to 30% deficit is a good place to start. 30% plus being, more on the aggressive side, but that might be still relative to someone who needs to lose a substantial amount of weight as well.
Yeah, I've just signed up a new client, and we're actually going to start. She's looking to drop some weight, and she's looking to, get the physique going a little bit. And I've thought we might start just a tad under what the calculated maintenance would be.
Yep. And
just start there.
Yep.
Because there's no rush. If obviously it's all timeline based. It all depends.
It does.
It all depends. It does. But for this particular client, there's no rush. So we'll just see what happens. I'd say maintenance is probably going to feel like a challenge. So we'll see how we go.
That's it, mate.
Exciting stuff.
Nice one.
Cool.
Thanks for joining us for episode 33, guys. We hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Spotify, and we hope to see you on the next episode. Peace.